Hi guys, it's Emily from Novel Novels and welcome to today's video. This is the Wintery Book Tag. Now I have a crazy cat that is just literally going mad in the background, so please ignore her. And I've just had a pile of books from my bookshelf in my bedroom fall off the top shelf and hit me on the head. So I may not be completely with it, but this is me. You guys still love me. So this is the Wintery Book Tag, and I was tagged to do this by its creator, Keir Scrivener. I will link her channel and the video for her original video for this down below with the prompts. I'm just going to get on and say it because it's absolutely freezing here. Now, she tagged me in December, and you guys know me, I am really crap at doing tags straight away. So some of these questions are related to Christmas and some of them are like related to the end of the year. So I'm going to tag some people at the end, but because I'm so late in the day tagging people, you don't have to do it if you don't want to. It's just more of a shout out your channel, you know, whatever tag. Okay, it is absolutely, by the way, the day of filming this, it's -3 degrees here in the UK, in Bracknell where I am, and I'm freezing, and so I just want to get this filmed. So let's get on with it. Prompt number 1. As winter becomes cold, we curl up in coats and blankets around fires. What is a book that makes you feel warm, seen and comforted? I'm not going to go with the one I always go with for this prompt, so I'm actually going to go with Book Love by Debbie Tung. I think I might read this again soon because it was the first book I read that was about like book lovers and how we are with our books, and it's a really good cozy book about book lovers, and it was like, oh, okay, so I'm not alone in being a complete mad book lover. Before I joined this community, I read this quite early on in my community days, and I loved it because it really did make me feel very seen and talks about the love of books that we all got. There's quotes in this that are just so funny. There's like people that not being long enough to read books, you know, not being enough time, the way people smell books, our reading addiction, and it's brilliant. So me. Number 2, there is perfection on a cold winter night, where the moon shines in on the snow and the air is crisp in your lungs and you want to freeze in the moment and capture it. What is a book that you wanted to savour reading? I thought I would do a book that I've just spoken about in one of my wrap-ups, and that is The Seven Sisters book by Lucinda Riley. I buddy read this with lovely Guy from Garathena, and so we read like 50 pages a day, and I definitely think reading it that way was perfect, because it meant it was something to look forward to every day. It was a bit that I was really enjoying, and every morning I couldn't wait to pick up this book. It's rare that a buddy read or a book gets you to the point where you want it to last. A lot of my books I speed through, but this was one I wanted to last on, and I wanted to enjoy every single second of it. So it was just amazing, and I absolutely loved it. Number 3, as the world slows down for the winter, I always find myself turning to big classics and fantasy. What do you go to pick up? What do you go to this season? Recommend your favourite ever or most recent book in this genre or type. So I thought I would show you 3 books by 3 authors I've absolutely loved, and 3 books that just have stood out as go-to. Now, obviously, you all know that in the winter time, I read a lot of contemporary literature. Now, these books are not Christmas contemporaries because obviously we're leaving Christmas now. So I thought I would show you 3 other books that I've read that are contemporaries that really stood out to me. The first is The Library by Bella Osborne. Again, it's about a book about book lovers, and it was just absolutely amazing. It's got the older protagonist, pensioner Maggie. It's got like teenager Tom, and it's just really great contemporary book, and it's about fighting for a library and fighting for books, and I loved it. Another one of my favourite authors and a book going forward that I recommend for the summer season and when things warm up again is Summer Fair by Heidi Swain. She's one of my favourite authors ever, and I love the Nightingale Square series. I love Heidi Swain's books. This is an absolute amazing contemporary, and I loved it. And then lastly, probably my favourite contemporary of all time, and it's one that I'm rereading in February, so Sneaky Peeks from February's TBR, is Someone I Used to Know by Page 2. It's probably my favourite of hers, and I can't wait to reread it. It's about, like, we've got a fostering involved in it, we've got a lovely lead protagonist, Leah, and we've got Theo, and we've got a bit of mystery because you don't know the twist in it, and it's sad, it's amazing, it's inspiring, it's brilliant. Page 2 is my other contemporary author. favourite contemporary author. One of them. I'm doing a video on that and coming up in February. Right, number 4. But as the days crush against us, we will be welcoming shorter books and end of day as the end of year looms, and can turn to shorter books to quickly finish. What are some of the shorter books? Some of your favourite shorter books? So obviously one of my favourites is an Emily Bronte book that I reread for pretty much every October, and that is The Night is Darkening Around Me by Emily Bronte. It's a little selection of her poetry and it's really good fun. I do like to read shorter books at the end of the month to try and get the books up, but one of my shorter books that I'm looking forward to reading that I loved, and that is The Haunting of Aveline Jones. It's a bit of a horror, a bit of a middle grade horror, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's a brilliant book. And it's middle grade horror, so it's is definitely horror. And I'm gonna read the next one actually in March, I think I've decided. But it's about ghost stories and half term. And I did read this in October, but it's one I'm gonna save to thingy. So definitely like that. Right, and let's go over the next page. Every Christmas, a new thingy comes into play with the Christmas Carol. Yeah, new author comes into play with a new Christmas classic that's always forgotten. No, a new singer comes up with a new Christmas classic that's always forgotten. What is a book you highly anticipated but disappointed you? And this is the book that fell off the shelves because I never read it, and that is The Betrayals by Bridget Collins. I loved The Binding by Bridget Collins, so I paid full whack for this. I paid quite a lot of money for it. It is a stunningly beautiful book, which is why I've kept it stunning, but I didn't like it. It went over my head. I found it really struggling. I found it real hard work. I think it's for very, very intelligent people, and I'm not intelligent, so yeah, I was so disappointed when I read that, and I thought I would love it, and I was gutted I didn't. So yeah, that was one that really disappointed me. Number 6, Christmas covers. What is a retelling you either loved or hated, depending on how you feel about this practice? Well, you guys, there is one that I always read, but I'm not going to tell you about that one. I'm going to go with another retelling that I've loved, and that is Cinderella is Dead, which is a Cinderella retelling by Kaylin Byron. I got this for an ad PR product for Tandem ages ago, but it's a Cinderella retelling, but it's got LGBTQI plus characters in it, and it's got Sophia is like destined to meet her prince, but she doesn't want a prince, she wants a girl, and that's pretty what that said at the start. She doesn't want to go to the ball, she doesn't want to be chosen at all, not when she's afraid that the girl she loves might be chosen too. Thoroughly loved that, and it's a really brilliant retelling. I still love my Beauty and the Beast retellings, but that was a different retelling that I really enjoyed. In the colder climates, squirrels and many other animals collect food for the winter before hibernating. What is a book you've collected long ago and have been hibernating on? And this is one I need to read. You guys have got to nag me to read this. I think I might actually read it in March because it's an Emily book, so I might read books about Emily. Yeah, this is the complete poems of Emily Dickinson by Emily Dickinson. So actually, I think I will read that in March. It's not too long. It's actually it's 300 odd pages, but it's got loads of poems in it. So let me go for it. It's going to be a March read. I've been hibernating on this too long. March is my birthday month. I'm going to read stuff with Emily's, stuff that I really want to be excited by. So yeah, that's going to be read then. Winter is also the transition between one year and another. Which is your favourite first book and last book in the series? Or alternatively, a goal you want to finish before the end of the year and one you want to try. Well, there's no point doing that. So I'm going to go with the first and last book in the series, which is Anne of Green Gables and Rilla of Ingleside. Basically, the books in the middle, apart from Anne of Avonlea, aren't as good, but the first is amazing and the last, Rilla of Ingleside, is absolutely incredible. So they are both brilliant books, and Sweets decided to come in this video. In Canada, snowbirds are typically people who spend their winter in warmer climates around the cold before returning to Canada for March to October. What is a genre you don't live in but occasionally visit? That's, to me, is thrillers. I will try and read, last year I was reading a thriller a month, but this year I'm taking a little pause from them for a little bit, just while I get my head back together. But yeah, I do occasionally read thrillers. Some thrillers are amazing, others are just not so amazing. But yeah, that's quite good. Winter is often, number 11, winter is often a little slower and cosier and can offer more time for solitude and reflection. What is a book that helped you understand yourself better, or a book you learnt from. I'm going to go with Get a Life, Chloe Brown. But Charlie's got my copy of it for her read along, so I can't have my copy with me. But it was the first book I'd read really properly on chronic pain. The lead character, Chloe, in it has fibromyalgia. I don't have that, but I do have chronic pain in my knee and my leg. So yeah, that was the first book I read where this person was having to do things and was having relapses and having good days and bad days. And it was the first book I've ever read that really stuck out to me as one that made me, my chronic pain feel seen. It is one I'm going to reread for mine and Naomi's readathon, but about invisible disabilities, but it was just so good. I loved it so much. Number 12, what is a book that represents winter to you? Obviously, Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. It's a great winter book. It's a great Christmas book. I watch Muppets Christmas Carol on TV every year. It's just one of the best. And then lastly, it's to tag people. Like I said, I am very late in the day tagging people, so I'm going to tag Berna from Bernish Bookies Adventures, Charlie from Charles Heathcote, and Mitzi from Mitzi Reads and Writes. If you want to do it and I'm not tagged you though, please link my channel down below, and I hope you all, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and not subscribed yet, ring on my ding-a-ling. Bye bye everyone, bye bye.